Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. It's a whole new year, and this is my first video back. I'm so excited because I really am getting into the Easter spirit a little bit early. Dollar Tree is filled with things, Kohl's, Pottery Barn, everywhere. So I wanted to make some easy, budget-friendly DIYs that are really clever, really unique. I have not seen anyone do any of these, so I wanted to share so you guys can possibly use them in your own home to decorate any room possible. First thing you will need is some cardboard. Dollar Tree can give you their cardboard boxes. They always have them on the floor for free. And this is going to be the actual bunny cut out in the Easter egg. I am hand drawing this. I actually found a picture online that showed a bunny silhouette. So I'm basically eyeballing it as I draw on this piece of cardboard. And you can also just print it out and trace it onto the cardboard if you're not really good with freehand, and that would be a great situation there. Then I got a black marker to outline the area, and now I'm using my very lovely trusty hot knife to cut out the actual egg and the bunny. Now I am using some heat and bond to apply to the cardboard. Now let me tell you why. The material I will be using to stick onto the cardboard, I don't think would actually stick with anything else, and it will burn if I use glue. So I'm using some heat and bond. Typically, you use an iron for this. I'm using my steam press, and you want to make sure when you're using heat and bond that you're not pressing for a long period of time because you will melt both sides. And I've done that in mistake, and I realized it literally only needs a few seconds, like one or two, under the heat so it can affix to the area so that you can peel off the other side. And then once you apply your fabric or whatever material you're going to use on the other sticky side, then you can apply it for as long as you want. Now the material I am going to be using is going to be a Dollar Tree tablecloth that has the flannel on the back. And this was so easy. All I had to do was remove the actual flannel piece from the back side, and the top part, which is plastic like, affixed perfectly to the heat and bond. And then I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut it out because, as you can see, it's literally stuck to it, and that's what I needed to make sure what happened, which is why I didn't use regular glue, even though it probably could work, but I just didn't feel like going through the motions if it didn't work. Quick tip: if you're going to have a print on the actual cardboard, make sure you do it twice to cover it up. Moving right along to the next DIY, this will be the carrots coming from out of the ground with a sign in the middle. The next thing is we're going to be using the Dollar Tree cooling rack, and we're going to be using this to make a basket, not a basket, I guess you can call it a basket, but a little holder section that's going to be holding the square foam so that I can make my carrots sticking up as if you have a little piece of lawn on your wall and your carrots are sticking up. So make sure when you are bending these, you are not bending at the very connecting points because they will break really easy. So just bending them slowly but surely, making sure it's a curve and not a straight angle bend would be ideal so it will not break. If you have done this before, or I don't know, like it's I don't know how to explain it, but just make sure that the seams that connect do not bend or it will break off. And I got these from Dollar Tree as well, these little foam blocks, and honestly, this was literally me winging bending this thing, and it fit perfectly, so I was shocked. But so I wanted to make sure that they all fit inside, and they did. So then I took them all out and I did hot glue them together. I was a little worried that the hot glue would actually burn, but it really didn't, so I was shocked and surprised. You could also use, I guess, toothpicks or something else, but I didn't want to use that because I will use these again while using actual flowers and stuff, and I don't want the actual toothpicks and things to be in the way. So basically I'm applying the hot glue and just, fixing it together. They do slide around, so if I'm using this flat surface on the bottom and my hands to keep them straight, because when they do dry, it literally, you would have to break them apart. And my fear is when I break them apart, they may actually, rip another part away because it's stuck together with the hot glue. So pop them on back in there, and then you're just going to do a bunch of hot glue and adding the moss on top. And I got this moss from Joanne a while ago, and it has the green and the brown, so I made sure to mix the two when I applied it on here to give it more of a realistic kind of look. So yeah. I literally just use hot glue once again to affix the moss to the foam blocks. I put a lot of hot glue, and then I just very quickly pulled off pieces of the moss and stuck it onto it, because hot glue does sometimes dry really really quickly, and I just wanted to make sure it will all affix. When I complete the whole area, I just went back and took little pieces to fill in sections, to make sure that the foam pieces were not showing through. I was so excited when I found these Dollar Tree carrots, and what even made it better was they was on, I guess, like a clearance for 50 cents versus a dollar. So I was like, yeah. So all I did was took the bottom pieces off and just placed the top piece with the stem on top. So now it looks like we have carrots sticking up out of our little creation. And I printed off this little happy Easter sign off my computer, affixed it to a broken piece of wood skewer, and placed it right in the center to make it look more festive. The next DIY is so super simple and easy. I printed this off of my inkjet printer. The typical Dollar Tree square boxes. I just ripped out the centerpiece, cut this down to size, use my hot glue gun, and I just put 4 points in the middle, put the paper on top, smooth it out so that all the glue can go all around, and boom, there you go. Now here is a bonus DIY that I wanted to show you guys. It's so cute, this little canvas picture with the bunny made of flowers. So first of all, what I did wrong, what you shouldn't do, is print the image off on a really thick piece of paper. I don't know why I did that, but I have to literally emphasize the importance of using a thin piece of paper if you're going to do this to make it much better. So because I use a thick piece of paper, I am going to be using some water, a sponge, to make it wet so that it can be a lot more, I guess, it can be easier to be used with the Mod Podge, because I really didn't want to print out again. I didn't have no more paper or no more ink. I'm like literally on my last leg with ink right now, and I'm just like trying to preserve it. So I wet it really good, and then I used one of the Dollar Tree canvases, wiped it with Mod Podge using one of the paintbrushes, and because it was already wet, I feel like it helped it to adhere a lot better. And then I just wet it on top, apply more Mod Podge, and boom, the beautiful DIY was created. And this is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my DIYs. Have a great one.